Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. So I wanted to make a video today and talk about some kind of conspiracy, controversial type stuff. As most of you know, especially on this channel, if you're a God-fearing person, we all know the good news, right? And if you're anywhere familiar with Revelation and the things to come and the end of times, the Bible in general, you know that Satan is a deceiver, a great deceiver, and that he would try to deceive the world. You know, it talks about the mark, all kinds of different things like that. And you know, growing up, and I'm sure a lot of people think this way, like how on earth could the masses be deceived, you know, into believing the big lie and following along with somebody so corrupt and so evil as the devil. And so I've kind of pondered that probably most of my life, kind of wondering how could it possibly be done, you know? And we live in a day and age now that is just evil to the core. To the core, it is just completely evil world we live in. It seems no matter where you look, you're staring it dead in the eye. And that's kind of been a deterioration, I believe, over the years with media, the powers that be, government, everybody pushing this mass agenda. And I'm sure, you know, you would agree with me that the government is evil. I mean, just plain and simple. It's pretty obvious at this point that the government does nothing but bad for us. So how would the Great Deceiver deceive everybody? Well, the slow meltdown of society, the way we are now, everybody believes in themselves and nothing else. All their accomplishments, everything they do in life is because of themselves, right? Not because of God. So a great deal of people in the world right now have already fallen. They have already fallen spell to this evil. But how do you convince more? How do you convince the masses to follow you when you're just obviously evil? So I have this theory, probably conspiracy to a lot of people. I mean, it's not proven by no means. How are you going to prove it? But I watched some documentaries and things probably over a decade ago that kind of intrigued me about aliens. And I've always been kind of open to that sort of idea, but after watching these videos, these documentaries and interviews with people on their beliefs of things and their experiences, you know, some people that were abducted supposedly merely just would say the name Jesus or even think it, and these people would leave. So anyway, these videos, these documentaries and stuff I watched were basically saying how aliens were interdimensional, not intergalactical. They're not aliens, so to speak. They're demons. And it made a lot of good points. You know, it was a couple-hour movie. I wish I could remember the name of it. I would let you guys know. But it got me thinking about that. And like for the last 10 years or so, I've kind of fell to that direction that I kind of feel like that's the way things are going. That's how the deceiver's going to work. And when you flash forward to where we're at now in modern day, you know, you see all this stuff being declassified about aliens, you know, all these sightings and ships and things, the last few years have really grown and really become a big thing. And, you know, a lot of people get excited. They think, oh man, we're from another planet, this and that. And it really seems like part of the agenda. The more I think about it, the more I look into it, and the more things I see coming to light nowadays. And I like to look at information from every aspect, every point of view, so I don't dismiss anything. And not that I'm going into things wanting to change my beliefs or thoughts on things. That's not it. I just want to be informed on how everybody thinks about things. I mean, what better way to know the enemy than to, you know, read about them, get a perspective on their point of view. So I found this channel on YouTube. It's UAMN TV. And it's not just all about aliens. There's technology type stuff, science, things like that. But there are some people on there. I watched a video recently where I can't remember the guy's name. You'll have to go look up the page, and there's plenty of it. But this guy on there that's supposedly making contact with aliens, and not only aliens, but interdimensional beings. And his guide, so to speak, is supposedly this alien that's 300 or 400 years into the future that is a descendant of humans, a hybrid, so to speak. And I was really kind of interested in it just because it seemed crazy, and kind of started watching it a little bit, kind of getting a good laugh out of it. But then it kind of got the wheels turning, me kind of thinking about it a little bit more. And so the whole time this guy is making contact with his spirit contact or interdimensional contact, whatever it is, he's given all these Masonic symbolisms, the pyramids, the plan coming together, all this stuff, the whole time that he's supposedly speaking to this alien. And they are literally on there encouraging people to telepathically speak with these beings, to open their mind to other dimensions, and just really wanting people to talk to these spirits and these interdimensional beings. And I was really surprised, they were interviewing the guy, basically, this alien, through this other guy. And I was really surprised at how many people were taking this stuff seriously. I mean, there were people saying they loved the guy. I honestly thought it would just be a slew of, hurtful things they were going to say, and how ridiculous it was, because that's pretty much all I seen was how ridiculous it was and unbelievable it was. But there was a vast majority of these people in this conference that were interviewing that really believed everything this man had to say. So I made this video because I want people to start kind of get the wheels turning on the Great Deceiver, on how could you possibly be fooled into following something so evil? Well, it's really not that hard. I mean, the masses, a vast majority of people are already there. There's no hope, right? Especially with all this transgender stuff now. And I really think that the transgender thing is a stepping stone to transhumanism. And in the interview I watched, he basically goes into like how things are different in the future, and they're not genders and things like that, and a lot of the things that are big topics in the world right now. So I think it's getting people open to the idea of, you don't need a gender, you don't need an identity, you can be whoever you want. And that's how the deception is going to happen. I'm not sitting here saying I know it all, but if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. All this declassified stuff, all these sightings, everybody getting all up in a whirl about aliens. Next thing you know, one crashes on Earth and says he's our long lost ancestor and we're really from another planet, and starts curing people and just whatever. I mean, you can see where I'm going with this. There is a lot of people that would go right along. This explains everything. Oh, now it makes so much sense. We don't need a God. We're from another planet. We just got lost somewhere along the way. So I'm like I said, I'm just making this video to kind of open your guys' minds up to other thought patterns, thinking different ways. It's not going to be as simple as just the Antichrist saying you have to have a chip in your hand, or at least I don't think it'd be that simple. I mean, you have to take it. But I think opening people's minds to this reality of alien beings, and we're another species from another planet, could be a great deception for a lot of people, especially people that aren't concrete in their faith and know who they are and know who God is in their heart. So they could easily be deceived. Now, I don't know where I'm going with this video. I guess the main thing is I just want people to open their mind and look at things from another perspective. Everything's not always black and white. And even though you might read the Bible on a daily basis and you go to church every Sunday, there's a lot to this evil, broken down world that we live in. And we have to be prepared for anything that may happen. An alien invasion, an alien coming to Earth and saying we're from another planet. I mean, at this point, that's really all we're missing. You have men turning into women, women turning into men, the economy's falling apart, the entire world's fighting. What better way to deceive the world than to have somebody else from another planet come in and fix everything, right? That's what everybody wants, just everything to be easy and fixed. So I really believe this whole transhumanism thing is just the beginning of trying to deceive the masses that we're from somewhere else. So don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It'll be real easy to fall for it. But hey, you live in this world too. Nothing's easy, right? So yeah, I would hop on YouTube, check it out, UAMN TV. Like I said, it's not all about that. There's science, UFO stuff, all kinds of stuff. But I was really disturbed by seeing basically seances where people are believing all of this crap, hook, line, and sinker. So get right with God. Get right with your faith. Get right with yourself. Know who you are. Because these people don't care, and they will do anything to deceive you. Catch you guys later.